Here.
Allen.
Here.
And Roger Smith.
Here.
We all please stand and join us in the invitation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you pray with me? Gracious God, as we come to you this day to begin another session of the Carl Junction Board of Alderman, help us to be mindful of those who paid the ultimate price for the preservation of our democracy and our freedom. And through our actions, help us to bring honor to their memory and sacrifice. It's in your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Rick. Next is approval of the agenda. Are there any comments or corrections to the agenda? As you know, we do have a copy that was
Been modified.
so we do have that.
I second.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second by Don Allen to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. The agenda is approved. Next is approval of the consent agenda, which is approval of the minutes of the previous meeting and approval of disbursements. Any comments or questions about the consent agenda?
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Roger Spencer to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative, 2 absent. The consent agenda has been approved. Next is public forum. Anyone wishing to speak at public forum? Last call for public forum. Very well, then we'll move on. Next, I received an email that Alderman Gary Stubblefield, Ward 1, is resigning, and so I need a motion and a vote to accept Mr. Stubblefield's resignation as an alderman for Ward 1.
I move we approve the resignation.
I'll second.
Motion by Don Allen, and by Mike Burns to approve the resignation of Gary Stubblefield as Ward 1 alderman. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. Mr. Stubblefield has successfully resigned from Ward 1 as an alderman. We will be putting an ad in the Jasper County Standard, I believe.
Yeah,
Or whatever it's called.
Citizen.
Citizen, sorry.
the Citizen will also put something in on Facebook.
And we have a list of qualifications.
Yep.
Qualifications that people have to meet to be an alderman, along with just your residence requirement. Moving right along, I had to sign an emergency repair for the HVAC system at Public Works, which was, what was it, $5,000 some dollars.
Yeah, $5,647.
The air conditioner went out and it was an emergency, so I did that. I would like to have a motion with you all approving my emergency repair.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Bob McAfee, second by Rick Fund to approve my emergency repair authorization. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative, 2 absent. Thank you very much for approving that. Next is approval of the bid for the community center generator. You want to talk about that, Steve?
Yes, sir. We had 2 bids. Calgary Martin opened the other day. One from Joplin Industrial Electric, $175,351, and one from Bill's Electric in Webb City, $198,875. Both Kurt and I are recommending Joplin Industrial Electric. We do have a long history of working with them at the treatment plant, especially.
And this is
This is the generator for this building, and it is ARPA funded.
thank you. That's what I was getting at. Any other comments?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mike?
Do we have any idea of recurring costs with this generator? I know that we just had to have some work done in the police department. I don't know if it's
Annual costs will, we will get a quote for a maintenance program, also one like we have the others, so there will be that cost, and then the cost of diesel, of course, which.
Well, hopefully
$6 again.
hopefully we're only going to be
Whatever.
running it just to
Yeah.
make sure it still works and not have to use it.
Yes.
researching that one at the PD to find out. We actually think we can get the repairs done out of a certified guy in Springfield instead of having to bring somebody out of Kansas City to do it. So we're going to be doing that. So those emergency repairs or repairs like that, we have not had any out of the one at the treatment plant or at the wells for a number of years. The one at the PD, of course, is how many years old now? 2005?
Yeah.
Something like that. So,
The other question I had, is there any thought or, so I guess with this generator, it's permanent, it's not
Right.
mobile, to have something like on a trailer that's mobile that could be then taken to the area of need if it was.
we have one of those that we already use, that we use it with our lift stations. When power goes out, which we've had to use several times. It is wired, has the correct plugins on it. Our lift stations do too, so that we can take it out there and do that type of thing with our lift stations. And of course, our wells already, we've got 3 wells that have generators on them.
Does the mobile one not have the capabilities of serving this building then, if something happens?
It's not big enough.
Not big enough, yeah.
Where will you place it?
Right out back.
Quick question.
Yeah, no.
We had talked about, when we were talking about the funding and the budgeting for it and everything, will this generator be big enough? Like if we are looking at adding on in the future, will it be big enough or would it just like cover basically?
No, it's going to cover this portion
City Hall.
only because we have no idea what the load would be on an expansion to be able to put a generator in for that.
But this is the critical area with.
This is the critical area because it will keep City Hall, the senior center, the media center. That's basically all on one circuit, kind of. But yeah.
Anything else?
Include the gym area too?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I move we accept the bid for Joplin Industrial for the generator through Arpa funding.
Second.
Most likely, Don Allen, say where Jim goes, you to approve the bid for the community center generator. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. All opposed, same sign. 5 in favor and 1 opposed. Motion, the bid is approved. Next is approval of the bid for the Santa Cruz Bank Stabilization Project. Steve?
We had 3 bids on it, and if you remember correctly, this is phase 2 of that. This will reach all the way around Cooley Branch, Armoret, and build the fingers or whatever they are out into the creeks that'll start rebuilding the bank then that we've lost from the movement. Asbel had the low bid at $102,664. Then Heckenwicker and then Bennett also. So both Kurt and I are recommending Asbel Excavating and Trucking for the job.
This is lower than they estimated, wasn't it?
This is, yes, thank you. This is lower than the estimated cost. The generator was a little bit higher than the estimated cost.
So they're balancing out.
That kind of balances out a little bit. So
And it's also from Arpa funding.
this is also ARPA funding.
Yes.
Well, just to kind of refresh my memory. So with the stabilization, is that going to help us eventually keep from having to replace the far end of the trail every time it rains or floods?
It will keep that kind of.
Getting
It will
worse?
keep the bank in place instead of losing the bank and getting closer and closer to it. It probably won't help when we get floodwaters that high that go up in there. It'll just keep what's there instead of, hopefully.
Deteriorate. Okay.
You could fix that trail. It would cost quite a bit. You'd have to go in and concrete and then anchor the concrete into the ground some way to get it to stay in place.
Or could we, well, it's probably a discussion for another time, but move that trail back. You know what I mean? So So we don't have to fix it all the time, just let it be grass.
You'd have to take it all the way up by the pool.
Yeah. Get things.
I mean, you fill up with water up to the courts, up to the tennis courts and pickleball courts.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Mike.
So this is kind of right there between, like, just south of between the ball fields and or south of the parking lot then, kind of, right?
This is where Cooley Branch comes in between Center Creek and Frank Dean.
Okay, so that close to the park.
Yes, it's on the east side of Cooley Branch.
Are they gonna, I guess my question is, 2,750 tons of riprap they're bringing in. Can we make sure that the dump trucks are using the same road and find a path for them to go? And I guess
They will. I don't think they shouldn't have to go over that low water bridge there.
No.
We want to keep them off of that, so they should be able to go down Terrell. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they did last time when they did that work.
Any other comments or questions?
I mean, we accept the asphalt bid.
Second.
Bank stabilization.
Motion by Ladonna Allen, second by Rick Flynn to approve the as-built bid for the Center Creek Bank Stabilization Project. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. That bid is also approved. Next is a resolution authorizing applications for DNR Arpa grant funding. This is something we have to do we have to have a resolution to DNR required so we can apply for the funding to do the stormwater, the clean water, and what other kind of water. I don't know.
This just authorizes us to make the application to.
Yeah,
You guys are authorizing staff to be able to do the work to get the application.
yes. So,
I move we pass the resolution.
Second.
motion by Don Allen, second by Rick Flynn, that you approve a resolution for the ARPA funding through DNR. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. That is also approved. Okay, where am I now? Record. Okay, yes.
Sorry,
Go
quick
ahead.
question. Is that gonna approve both, like say the clean water, like both grants? Is that, or just one grant?
No,
Because you could get
We
up to
can
5
use-
million for both, right?
We can actually use the resolution for both.
Aren't they
No, we
both?
won't. This is for the water line only.
Is the deadline in June for both of them?
Yeah, we will have to do another resolution for the stormwater ones when we get a better idea of what. Probably at the next meeting, we'll have that stuff. Yes,
yeah, there's a clean water one too.
And this is gonna be the clean water?
this is the clean water.
There's 3 different categories.
3 different categories, clean water, sewer,
And land.
stormwater.
We don't have lead, right? Yeah. That's right. And you only do one for clean water.
Right, 1 for clean water, 1 for sewer, multiple
for
stormwater.
For stormwater, yeah. Okay. Very good. That's okay. Administration report. We have a hard copy of the administration report. Are there any comments about the administration report?
I really didn't have time to read over it unless Steve has any highlights that he knows we need to bring to our attention.
Just still no announcement on the pavilion funding yet. And a lot of the stuff we already talked about, I, American Rescue Plan. We said we had a second claim on the sewer backup.
And we have 2 residents.
2 residents?
Yeah.
Do they have a backflow preventer?
They do now, they got one installed here.
They didn't have one before.
No, they did not.
Okay. Any comments, anything? If not, I'll move right along. Very good, then we'll move into department reports. Let's start off with Public Works. I've got a huge Public Works Good job, Jay. Did a lot in the last 3 weeks. Any comments for Jay on the Public Works report? Yes.
I didn't see, but have we repaired damage out at Lakeside Park? How much damage was done with the golf cart and the soccer field?
I see no damage at all.
Didn't damage our park.
We mowed the whole thing last Friday.
They knocked over a porta potty.
The
Couple
initial
soccer
report I
balls.
got was they had done donuts and tore up again some of the, like they do on the greens, but, okay, good, that's a good thing. I mean, not for you guys.
And they've been apprehended. That's the good news. Anything else for Jay? Very well, then let's go to the PD report. Looked like an exciting time at the PD. Just one damaged car. Any comments for the chief? Yeah.
Any dispatchers applied or?
We've gotten a couple of people that's asked online. I think we've got one hard copy application. Beyond that, we don't have any further applications actually in hand.
Anything else for the chief? Very good then. Building inspector, I guess report will be next time.
It was in this.
Was it in this time? Did I see it? I didn't see it.
Did it land there?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it was in there, because I noticed the roofing counts weren't very high.
Oh, I did
so-
see that too. That's right. No, they were still number one though, right?
Yeah, I think so, but we
Yeah.
avoided a lot of the heavy wind damage, I think. so
Okay,
far.
any comments on building inspector reports? Very well, then we'll move on to committee reports, budget and finance. Ladonna?
Really, we don't have much to report this time, except we just approved 2 pretty big expenditures out of the Arpa funding, but those were already in plans. And we have the emergency repair that will be covered. So. Other than that, we're good.
Okay. Code and nuisance. Rick?
No, sir. That's not this time.
Human Resources Director? Public Facilities. Mike?
I have nothing, sir.
How about, you got a meeting on the 13th, right?
Oh, correct. Meeting on the 13th.
Or 14th, pardon me, 14th.
At 3:30.
14th, yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna say 13th until the 14th.
14th and 15th.
I'll confirm which day it is and send out an email
Okay.
tomorrow.
Good.
Because I already-
Okay. Senior citizens. Richard?
I'd like to hand out to you, can I go up there and hand it
Sure,
to
you
you?
bet.
Yeah,
And just split it halfway and go one way or the other.
All right.
What I wanted to do was, one side of what I handed out to you is the menu for, the month of, June, which is served here at the center. The, area agency has done a really good job in the last several months of improving the meals. They've really gone different. And so, it's good. And again, if you all would like to stop by sometime, it's $7 if you're under 60, but those over 60 is $3.50, and it's a donation. It's kind of crazy. It's a donation if you're over 60. Pretty firm if you're under 60. I don't know. But on the other side is stuff that you may not see or hear much about, and that is the activities. And so there's generally nearly not every day, because that can be too much, but there are activities scheduled just for creating fellowship. Today we had it's called Harmony Hills Bluegrass Band and Fiddles. They were some championship folks from live just out of town here a bit, the Rosses. I don't know if anybody knows them, but their kids are absolutely expert fiddle players, and they go by fiddle, all right. And they're fantastic. And so we had that today. That was very good. But there's just so that you see some other things that are just kind of minor, but it does provide in addition to the meals. So I just wanted to put something in your hands so that you got a better picture of all of the things
What,
happen there.
what time are the meals? When they,
The meals are 11:30,
11:30?
11:30 to 12:30.
Still have assigned seating?
Pardon?
Still have assigned seating?
Oh, well, some people will tell you that that is their table. Yes.
Okay.
That's kind of the way it works.
So if I come, I can ask somebody where I can sit.
There you can go.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
All right.
Sounds good, 11:30.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions?
You gonna take us all out to lunch?
Sure, I'll take that.
There you go.
Actually, I'm looking at lasagna tomorrow. That caught my eye.
There you go. That'll be good. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
They have exercise classes too.
Yeah,
Are you going to that?
my arm's still in good shape.
Mike actually.
Okay, moving right along.
I'll be resigning.
Unfinished business. Jim? Mike?
I have nothing, sir.
LaDonna?
No, sir.
I have none.
Nothing.
No, sir.
Bob? Nothing. Mr. Tyler? Lena?
No, sir.
Crystal?
No, sir.
Steve?
No, sir.
Oh, you were gone.
Yeah,
Mark?
so-
Jay? New business. Bob?
No, sir.
Rick?
A couple things.
Good.
One, it was passed on to me for Ward 1 at the end of Bishop and Roney, right, kind of in front of those duplexes, that blue and white duplex. There's a little bit of a dip before you come up on Roney, and it's a pretty good sized pothole. I don't know if there's something we can do about that.
Okay.
He says it fills up quite a bit, stays wet a lot. And then there was a question about the lot between Michiritos and One Stop. It's the grass is like, I don't know, I'm exaggerating, but it looks like 2 foot tall.
Okay, new property owner on that, so I'll get a hold of them.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Roger?
Nothing.
I have nothing. LaDonna?
One of the things talking about the roads, and it was one of the comments in a social media thread today that had a lot of inaccuracies. But one of the things that was brought up was over in Ward 4 on Gum and 43. So I don't know if we're talking about state or if it's farther back, but they were just, or which side of the road, because we didn't drive by, but they were talking about how bad that intersection was. I guess it's pitted out pretty good. So I'm assuming it's probably going to turn out to be Airport Drive and state, but
What I saw, it looks to me like it's probably the Airport Drive and MoDOT side of that.
I was kind of thinking that might be the case. But anyhow, I just want to pass that on. So if the guys are doing patrol and happen to go by there, so maybe they can look at it.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I have.
Mike?
Oh, yes, stop me if this has been addressed, but I got concern from a Ward 1 resident, also that the semis parking at the former Bulldog Car Wash there,
Mm-hmm.
that already been brought up, or?
Yeah, we don't own that.
Right, I told her to contact
Yeah, like they own, it's,
Right.
it's the
Crockin.
Crockham telephone company. I told her too. This is the lady, she sent me an email on it.
Okay.
I got back to her that same day, and like I said, we don't have an ordinance to prevent it from happening. They got back with us and told us that they didn't know any trucks we were parking there, and they never authorized anybody, but they've never prohibited anybody either. What they need to do is make Crockham send us something that says trucks can't park there. Then we can do something about it. And they need to put up a sign that says, no unauthorized vehicles or something like that. That's the only, we have
Truck parking.
what?
Truck parking or something.
Automobile, just say no unauthorized vehicles, whatever. It's their property. So we have no control over that. I know you, because they're refrigeration trucks.
Right.
And they make noise all night long. I wouldn't either.
That's all I got.
Thank you. Jim?
No, sir.
Mr. Talley?
No.
Lena?
No, sir.
Crystal? You want to talk about it?
Apparently, I do. Last Thursday, a lot of us went to a class that Aaron put on a meeting that was really interesting about where to find funding that goes along with the Arpa money. So with this, there's a bipartisan infrastructure bill, state revolving fund, lots of other things, lots of other money that's coming through down the pike that we can add to our Arpa funds to make it go a little bit further and more things that we can do. And they talked about what kind of projects can be funded, how to apply, broke it down really well. It was very interesting.
Yes, it was.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Steve?
One thing, the CID has asked us if we would participate with them again on fireworks.
Yeah.
Like we did last year. Last year we did $2,500 went towards it also. They've really made it a community event.
Yeah.
Compared to what it used to be.
So if you guys want to do that, let me need a motion to approve.
And we do have money in our marketing promotion. budget.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we
do
do.
have money in
Yes,
our
we do.
marketing and promotion.
So I move that we approve expenditure to once again help.
2,500, right?
2,500.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Roger Spencer, that the city will provide the CID $2,500 to help with the fireworks display on the 4th of July. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative with 2 absent. That is approved. Anything else, Steve?
No, sir.
Well, I'm glad you're reminding me. You're supposed to remind me of that. Okay. Mark, any new business?
Well, just so Elena knows I'm here. As far as the Bulldog car lot thing, I think they would need to post it as no trespassing because parking is more of a traffic which we can't enforce on private property.
Okay,
Criminal trespassing is, so we can enforce that.
okay. So if you talk to the lady, again, tell her that she needs to call them and say, they need to put a no trespassing sign. I bet she would even buy the sign for her.
But still.
Anything else, Mark?
Nope.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Jay? Is there any other business before the council?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Rick Glenn, that we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 6 in the affirmative. No, with 2 absent, we are adjourned. Thanks, Jim. Kelly, let's talk. Bob and you and me after the meeting.
Okay.